Yo, what is going on, growmies? Hope y'all are doing well, growing well. Now, growmies, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Purple Mindset Breeding Project. Now, growmies, today is about day 8 to 10 and having a closer look at this 3 Bears OG, crossed with Mango Smile. We can see she looks pretty okay. Not the best and fastest growth and is a little bit yellow. So I definitely need to make some adjustments. But anyways, moving on to the next plant in the tent is a Purple Mindset. Now some people may ask, why is this Purple Mindset in a smaller pot? Well, the reason is because I'm reversing this plant and she needs to just stay smaller. All we need from her is the pollen. We don't need a large amount of seeds and flowers. So yeah, just a little bit of pollen will go a long way. But anyways, growmies, now it's time for the next genetic, which is Mephisto's Double Grape. Now again, this is the race car fuel grape plant. And dude, I gotta say, I love this little plant. Again, same issues though as the left plant. We are seeing just slightly yellowing within the leaves and not that perfect, beautiful, vibrant, green, healthy color that we strive for. So again, we definitely need to make some adjustments. Anyways, moving on to the Purple Mindset in the back left. Again, about day 8 to 10, man, we could see again, same problems. So this is a universal problem that I need to fix. This Purple Mindset is just a little bit yellow. She has the magnesium deficiency. And has maybe just, if you pause the clip right here, you can see the new growth has that slight clawing on the leaves, as well as the developing fan leaf in the back. So growmies, I didn't make the best observation in this moment and didn't realize that this plant is actually having a little bit of a nitrogen toxicity. But anyways, getting back to the video, for sure we could see the magnesium deficiency, so definitely gonna feed on that. But yeah, checking in on the last Purple Mindset, again, the same exact story, a little bit yellow and it needs magnesium. And then also this one has just a tiny bit of nitrogen toxicity as well. So my goal, how am I going to fix all this? What was my plan at the time? Well, at first I thought the plants were yellow, not because of pH and magnesium, more because I thought like, oh, I should just feed in general. So what did I pick? Well, you growmies know me and how much I love down to earth. So what we have is insect frass, 3:1:1. We have dolomitic lime, which is calcium magnesium carbonate. Basically a whole bunch of slow release CalMag, the whole grow. And then lastly, we have the granular humic acids. So yeah, growmies, these 3 things is what I believe is going to give our autos the perfect vegetation and strong vegetation to grow nice and healthy and large. So growmies, insect frass is an all-natural fertilizer produced through sustainable insect farming and derived from larva manure and exoskeletons of black soldier flies. Pretty damn interesting. Skipping ahead just a little bit and looking at the guaranteed analysis, we could see that there is 3 total % of nitrogen available and guaranteed within the box. And taking just a little bit of a closer look, we can see that 1% is water soluble and 2% is water insoluble. The plant will be able to uptake the water-soluble nitrogen instantly, but not the insoluble. The insoluble nitrogen will take some time to break down and then become available and soluble. But anyways, next up, growmies, is the dolomite lime. Now again, like I said before, dolomite lime is a long, slow-release CalMag, which will feed throughout the whole grow. So again, let's read through everything and actually learn and really educate ourselves on what every product does. So what does dolomite lime do? Well, dolomite lime sweetens your soil, aka raises your pH. I guess I never heard that term before. To improve plant growth and maximize fertilizer performance. Natural dolomite is ground into an ultrafine powder and then prilled into uniform granules for easy spreading. This allows for a rapid reaction time once applied to garden soils and lawns. Dolomite lime supplies calcium and magnesium, essential nutrients that are required for proper plant growth and development. So growmies, in the guaranteed analysis, we see calcium at 23.5%. We see magnesium at 9.5%. We see calcium carbonate at 49.8%. We see magnesium carbonate at 32.9%. And then we see again at the bottom, calcium carbonate equivalent 98.2. So I guess the overall thing is 98.2% pure, something like that. But yeah, growmies, that's pretty damn sick. And dolomite lime is probably the best product you can buy organic, not gonna lie. And if you're not even running organic and you run bottles, you should still buy this and just top dress with it. That way you don't have to feed CalMag all the time. But yeah, it's really good. And it's my favorite product ever. But yeah, growmies, that's all the information about the dolomite lime from Down to Earth. And keep in mind, every product is a little bit different, so always read the ingredients and check it. But anyways, the next and final ingredient that we're going to be feeding is granular humic acids. Now, what are granular humic acids? What is that? At the top, It says that granular humic acids is a highly concentrated source of humic substances that is ideal for use on fields, turf, and vegetable gardens. Carefully mined from one of the world's richest deposits, it is derived from ancient remains of decomposed organic plant materials and may increase micronutrient uptake by plants, naturally occurring unaltered oxidized lignite, crushed, screened, and graded to a particle size of 1 to 3 millimeters. Pretty damn interesting. I always hear a lot of growers talk about this, but I've never used it myself. If you growmies have tried granular humic acids before, or used any type of humic acids, leave a comment down below and let me know what happened. But yes, growmies, that is all the information about the granular humic acids, the dolomite lime, and the insect frass. And now it's time to feed the plants. Alright, growmies, now the first one is the insect frass. Opening up the box, which by the way, dude, I gotta say, they have some of the greatest packaging. We could see, here it is, here's the insect frass. Taking a closer look at the product, we could see it just looks like dead grass and plants or seeds or something like that. It doesn't even look like insects at all, but who knows what it is. So the way that I'm going to apply this is just by gently and evenly spreading it across the topsoil and making sure to dig a little bit in, because whenever you add nutrients, sometimes they form like a salt crust layer on top. So you want to make sure that you evenly mix it in on the top. But yes, double grape ended up getting about a handful, and then so did 3 Bears OG, also got a handful. And of course, just as before, for demonstration purposes, you guys can see I just mix it evenly all around until it looks pretty much even, you know? And again, groomies, the same thing that I usually do is I get that dolomite lime and I spread it all the way across nice and evenly. And then yeah, groomies, the final thing that we're going to be feeding is the granular humic acids. Again, as we can see, I'm unboxing this down to earth product, which I've never tried before, but I'm super excited to see how it does. And again, none of this is sponsored, you know, there's no sponsor. This is just nutrients that I'm using. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's made in Eugene, Oregon. And I mean, dude, anything from Oregon, look, everything there is green. So of course their products are going to give you green plants. But getting a little bit of a point of view of opening up this package, which was pretty damn hard to do with my hands. Eventually I did get it open and we could see like, whoa, that looks pretty cool. It's almost like little charcoal pebbles or something like that. And I've never used this before to feed, but I figure, you know, just to keep it consistent, I'm going with the typical handful amount, which it's just a good, I don't know how much that equates to. It's like a little bit less than a cup. So it's a little bit lighter of a feed than what they recommend. And I always err on the lighter side just to be careful, you know. I can't imagine if I fed the full strength, these plants would have gotten burnt right off the bat. Sometimes you could feed full strength if you got a massive plant, but if you have a little plant, you feed a little bit, right? So that's how that goes. But anyways, at this point, growmies, I'm just doing a final mix in of all the plants on the top, making sure that everything is even. Yeah, growmies, after adding in everything and mixing it all up, we could see we actually have a Mars Hydro humidifier going in the middle. Now, in my experience, having a humidifier is drastically important to have that fresh water always inside the tent, especially for newborn autos. Autoflowers during the vegetation phase absolutely need that water and humidification. So I've been using that Mars Hydro humidifier, and even on the lowest mode, dude, it is powerful and it works well. I will say I'm not using perfectly filtered RO water or distilled water. I'm just using, you know, filtered water, but it's not filtered enough. And it definitely leaves a little bit of a composite behind, but not bad. I can wipe it away pretty easily. But yeah, looking at the full setup, it looks pretty damn good, man. And now it's actually time to go on the Mars Hydro app and control the humidifier and all these products in here, and the watering as well. In a little bit, I'm going to show you guys the humidifier and also the water storage that it comes with, so you guys can see both of them together. But anyways, to get working with my Mars Hydro equipment, I just go to the strip, which is the powder strip, and then it tells me all my information. So we can see all the information about my grow. And then on the back is the outlets, which tells me everything about my plants. So I can pick which one I want and adjust however I want to. So right now it's time to water these plants in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on the watering. And we can see all it takes is just a click of a button, and then all of a sudden the sprinklers turn on pretty much instantly. So pretty damn cool. Looking at the sprinklers, they're kind of, the plants are just a little small right now. So, you know, the sprinklers are hitting them, but once they get a little bit taller, it'll be more proper. And it's not too big of a deal to just dab the water off. So that's what I've been testing out right now. But anyways, groomies, I made sure to water these plants super heavily, get all their pots completely soaked, water in all those nutrients that we got in there. So coming back in on day 15 since sprout, some days 14 for some plants, but day 14, 15, we could see like, bro, they look a lot better compared to the last time, right? Since that water, they've actually exploded, dude. I will say the color is just slightly better, but not perfectly better. So that might be something I want to address, as we can see right now, because the pots are dry at the top. So it's time to make an action. Anyways, giving a closer look at this double grape plant, dude, we could see she's pretty damn healthy, man. I'm not gonna lie. She looks super beautiful, super green and happy. I see pretty big opportunity for this plant. But anyways, moving on to the purple mindset reversee. Dude, she looks awesome, man. Perfectly beautiful, healthy, hued green plant. This is a fantastic result right here. And in this one, I only use the organic hair soil. So I think that says, you know, maybe the plants are better off just using the organic hair soil, especially for the vegetation period and for growing autoflowers off the bat. But yeah, moving on to the next plant is the Three Bears OG crossed with the Mango Smile. And dude, on day 15, she looks so awesome, man. We can see at this point, she's developing around 3 to 4 nodes, maybe even working on the 5th one. Who knows at this point? She's also growing some bigger fan leaves. I gotta say the color is just maybe slightly yellow and not that perfect, vibrant, beautiful, healthy green that we need. But don't worry, we're working on that. We're gonna get that going, especially with this water. And that's the thing about the CalMag from the Dolomite Lime, is every time you water, it slowly breaks down and releases more and more and more and more. So it's better for the plants as they get bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, dude, looking at this Three Bears OG Mango Smile, her new growth and new fan leaves are, dude, they're perfect, beautiful, vibrant green. Like, that actually looks more closer to what we want. At this point, I am doing just a slight leaf tucking, since there are lower branches below kind of getting hidden already. So just by giving them a little bit of a twist, it opens up that light to those branches down below. Anyways, moving on to the purple mindset in the back, we can see she's a little bit close to the soil, you know what I mean? Like, she hasn't grown too tall. Also, her leaves are a little bit wavy, and I think that's just because the soil keeps drying out on her and she does not like that at all. But yeah, looking overall, we can see the new growth. Dude, we're starting to get towards that better green color that we desire. So pretty cool to see. And then also as well, we could see she is starting to develop quite a bit of nodes with some branches forming all across the main stem. But yeah, purple mindset day 15, dude, that's a pretty decent growth, you know, not the most insane growth like my perfect start. Maybe not the greatest start, but it's a start nonetheless. And yeah, looking at, again, purple mindset looking absolutely fantastic. We could see she is a little bit ahead on developing the nodes compared to the Three Bears OG and especially the double grape. And she's also got a nice little main stem forming as well. At the very top, we can see that nitrogen clawing forming, which is of course not desired at all. At this point, there's really nothing I could do to fix it besides digging out the topsoil, but I don't want to dig out and disrupt the roots, and I figure at this point, you know, just let the plant grow and see what happens, which is what we're going to do. And yeah, viewing it from the top, the new fan leaves look great. But anyways, moving on to the next purple mindset. Dude, we could see a little bit of the same issue with that nitrogen toxicity, but also it's pretty cool just to see like the similarities in the plant. A lot of the times people post things like, oh, same genetics, but wildly different plants. And that's just because their genetic traits don't have dominant expressions. Versus the purple mindset has very strong dominant traits, which is why we see that almost perfect consistency across every single plant, even in the first generation. But yeah, that's a lot of things that new growers get wrong, or like new breeders or people new to breeding. They think that the older the generation, the more stable. And yes, that can be sometimes, but not all the time. If your traits aren't dominant and you don't have dominant traits, then you're going to see variability. But if you have dominant traits, then they're going to take over every time and be expressed every time. Just a little breeding fact in the middle of this episode. But anyways, moving on to the double grape on the right side, we could see, yeah, the soil is pretty damn dry at the top. Something I wanted to avoid and actually catch a little bit sooner. So now it's time to do that. Also, since the plants are a little bit yellow and I just want to feed them some instant magnesium, get them a little bit greener and healthier, since I don't want these plants to be held back waiting for the Dolomite Lime to break down, which can sometimes take months. So yeah, we're going to give her some instant magnesium, Epsom salt, which will feed her right away and green her up right away. looking at our product this time, the one that we're using is the Amazon Basic Salt. But anyways, yeah, as we can see, each plant got a fat amount of magnesium, and I just dusted it all across all the top of the pots. And so far, this video is about 20 minutes long, and I've been telling you guys literally every single detail, showing you guys this is pretty much the raw uncut series so far up to this point. Leave a comment. Do you guys like all this information, or do you like more like the snappy growers mindset videos? Let me know. Let me know down below. So at this point, Growmies, what I decided to do is I actually got this new water filter, and when I measured the pH, it comes out to about like 6.8, which is a little bit high, but not that high. It's like a pretty good, just slightly a little bit more acidic than neutral water. So I just been feeding with this hose like this, bro, and it works absolutely perfect. Now, the way that I water, and this has a lot of controversy, and it always generates insane comments, but it's the way I found is the best, is to go in there and absolutely soak your medium, get it fully wet from the top to bottom, make sure everything's good, and also have excellent drainage. As you can see, all this excess water, none of it will be held onto, and then everything else will just drain out through the bottom. So giving a good, nice, heavy water ensures that there's no dry spots and gives even healthy root development for at least 2 to 3 days for me before I have to do this again. Since I live in the desert, and even though I have a humidifier, it just dries out insanely fast. So yeah, there we go. We watered our double grape, and dude, she looks pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy with her actually. We could see looking at her color, this is what it looks like right now. And I don't know if it's placebo, but I'm like, dude, she almost instantly looks greener, which is kind of crazy to say. I don't know if that's placebo, but I noticed even like 10 to 15 minutes later, you could see your plants react pretty damn quick. Almost instantly to the water, as we could see. She's a little bit droopy since she's got watered, but look at, dude, I'm telling you, Growmies, this is the best way to grow autos. You guys are going to see in the next coming days how big she gets. And maybe in the next episode is when I'm going to show that. But for all the naysayers, I already have the results. So I'm going to show you guys. This water method works, Growmies. If there's one thing I learned living in the desert, all I see when the plants grow is when the monsoons come. They have an insane, huge amount of flood and water. All the water drains out quickly and fast. All the plants get huge, which is exactly what we're doing here. Anyways, looking at the medium, at the beginning there were a little bit of springtails, but I don't see them anymore. And we could see we have a nice even moisture level all across. Looking at the plant and the new growth too, it also looks really healthy. So double grape, dude, I got big hopes for this plant. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm excited, Growmies. Anyways, enough about the double grape. Now it's time to water the 3 Bears Mango Smile. And looking at this plant right now, we can see her color. So like, just take some note. Like, this is what she looks like right now. These are her nodes. This is her branching. This is how everything looks, right? But now it's time to water this plant and see what happens. And then any leaves that get wet or soaked, we're going to clean them off, dry them off, and they'll be above the soil, not in it. So that's a good thing to do though, Growmies. Don't leave your leaves in the wet soil. They'll get eaten up by the soil and develop this like kind of rot, which is going to kill the leaf and is not good for your plant at all. But yeah, we ended up flooding this 3 Bears OG Mango Smile plant, and she looks awesome. Lastly, again, Growmies, just really quick, we ended up watering both purple mindsets as well, getting them evenly soaked all the way across. But anyways, Growmies, this was episode 3 of the Purple Mindset Grow Along. But Growmies, before this episode is over, we actually have some exclusive footage, so you guys can get a sneak peek of what's to come in the next episode, where we also check out the Mars Hydro Humidifier. So let's go do a live checkup and see what's going on inside the tent.